Snow White just bombed at the box office again. How the hell did that happen? You've heard of a movie flopping at the box office, but have you heard of a movie flopping at the box office twice in 2 months? Snow White did just that.
You know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
Rachel Zegler just torched her own career in real time, alienating fans, tanking ticket sales, and dragging Disney's biggest live-action gamble straight into the dirt. She mocked the original Snow White, lashed out at Trump's supporters, and clashed with directors like she had something to prove.
Wasn't sincere, because she's had a long history of saying woke, annoying things. Our new Snow White.
Now the fame machine has turned ice cold. The applause stopped. The offers dried up. And Rachel is left alone, sitting in the wreckage of the very chaos she built with her own 2 hands.
She's an asshole. That's number one.
You called her a pig?
She's a pig.
This was the girl Hollywood crowned its next golden child, the Spielberg discovery, the West Side Story phenom, the Disney princess prototype. And she still managed to blow it all up. She beat out thousands, snagged a Golden Globe, and then launched herself into career suicide mode. It's almost impressive, an award-winning breakout to blacklist material in under 2 years.
Never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Let's rewind. West Side Story had everything: buzz, legacy, critical love. Rachel had the voice, the charm, the rising star glow. But the film bombed. Big time. Empty theaters, disappointing numbers. Still, Disney looked at that flop and said, "Perfect, let's make her Snow White." They handed her the crown, the merch, the theme park dream, and she lit the whole thing on fire. Ask ChatGPT.
Dumb. But maybe she'll learn. You know what? Whatever I called her, it worked.
And here's the punchline. Disney tried to spin it all as bold and inclusive. A new era, they said. A statement, they promised. Well, mission accomplished. They made a statement on how to sink a 100-year-old brand faster than a leaky cruise ship. All Rachel had to do was smile, wave, and say something vaguely respectful about the original film. But no. She decided she was bigger than the legacy itself.
Cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
She went scorched earth on the 1937 classic. Called it outdated. Mocked the prince. Dismissed the whole love story like she was roasting it at a Netflix comedy special. Then proudly declared that her Snow White doesn't care about love, she wants to be a leader. Because apparently fairy tales now need PowerPoint presentations and political manifestos.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
Hold on.
All right. Congrats, Rage.
The audience reaction? Not just eye rolls, rage quits. You could practically hear Disney execs choking on their collectible tumblers. You don't spit on the film you're rebooting and expect applause. People wanted magic, not a lecture. What Rachel thought would be empowering came off like a desperate Twitter thread chasing clout.
White is called Snow White in this version of the film because, of course, she is not white as snow, is because she and her family go through a snowstorm and survive the snowstorm, and so it's a mark of her.
And then came the casting nuke. Let's not tiptoe around it. Snow White is called Snow White for a reason. It's in the name. It's in the original story. So when Disney cast Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, in the role, the internet didn't just raise eyebrows, it exploded. Some said it was progressive, others said it was erasure. But Rachel's damage control? Legendary in all the wrong ways. She claimed Snow White referred to surviving a snowstorm. Yes, really. The classic fairy tale rebranded into a weather report. Even her supporters were left asking, is this satire? Ask ChatGPT.
22-year-old actress faced backlash for her negative views on the original 1937 film and the prince character, which she labeled a stalker. Branding expert warns that Zegler comments could impact the film's reception. She has been accused of gaslighting and dubbed a fake feminist. Disney faces challenges of managing Snow White's portrayal.
The backlash was nuclear. This wasn't just a few angry fans in a comment section. This was Reddit threads, YouTube takedowns, podcast rants, and Twitter storms, all converging on one target, Rachel Zegler. And unlike the Little Mermaid discourse, which Disney somehow managed to spin into a win, this scandal stuck like glue. It wasn't about Rachel's talent, it was the smugness, the way she treated a beloved fairy tale like an outdated joke she was too cool to take seriously.
Gosh, I saw we didn't even see, but I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
And if you thought Snow White was the peak of her chaos, think again. Political Rachel entered the chat during the 2024 election like a bull in a MAGA China shop. She went on Instagram and casually dropped, "May Trump voters never know peace." Yes, really. No cryptic subtext. No nuance. Just a full-on curse broadcast to millions.
I just think it is terrible. She's been brainwashed into believing that Trump is this hateful figure, and to combat it, she released a bunch of hateful messages that said she hopes that Trump supporters never find peace and that Trump never finds peace.
And just like that, half the country mentally blocked her for life. Say goodbye to Middle America, Disney. This wasn't just career sabotage, it was brand arson. You can't be the face of a princess franchise and simultaneously hex half your audience into eternal unrest.
So she came out and took a large dump on half of the country. Everyone who voted for Trump. I remember her words.
She hopes they know no peace.
Right.
Something really,
and that Trump knows no peace.
She doubled down, too, lamenting how terrified she'd be to raise a daughter under a Trump presidency. Which, okay, personal politics are one thing. But when you're the multi-million-dollar mascot of a global family brand, maybe don't go. On record wishing misfortune on 70 million potential ticket buyers. Disney princesses are supposed to sell dolls, not spark boycotts.
It's already been almost assassinated twice, so maybe check the rhetoric. So I attacked her, and then she came out and she said, I apologize. Like I went too far.
So what did Disney do in response? Absolutely nothing. No damage control, no clarifying statement, not even a vague tweet. Radio silence. Which, in Disney speak, means full-blown crisis mode behind closed doors. That wasn't support, it was strategic retreat. They weren't protecting their star. They were waiting to see if she'd implode quietly enough for them to cut her loose, ask ChatGPT.
Disney star Rachel Zegler, who went on a tirade this week about how terrible everything is now that Trump won, and that she's living in a world where her imaginary daughter that she doesn't have can't have an imaginary abortion in the future. She's very upset about that.
And here's the real kicker. Rachel Zegler refuses to backpedal. No apology tour, no humility, no pause. Just more fire poured on an already blazing PR dumpster. Every time the backlash hits, she doubles down with another unsolicited TED Talk. She's not promoting a movie anymore, she's lecturing a fan base that just wanted a little magic, not a manifesto.
We absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can.
Let's call it what it is. Rachel Zegler was handed a dream career, and she treated it like a personal blog. She forgot the assignment. Instead of embodying Disney magic, she mocked it. Instead of uniting fans, she polarized them. And instead of honoring the studio that gave her the role of a lifetime, she acted like she was too enlightened to play dress-up. Now her career's unraveling live on everyone's feed, a modern fairy tale turned cautionary tale.
If you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
She was Disney's chosen one. The breakout girl of 2020. A Golden Globe winner, a Spielberg favorite, a vocal powerhouse. And yet, she couldn't stop talking long enough to keep the crown. And then came the financial nightmare. Snow White was supposed to be a sure thing, a legacy reboot with built-in nostalgia. Instead, it spiraled into a $300 million money pit. Between delays, reshoots, and drama, Disney basically built a cinematic Titanic, and Rachel was rearranging deck chairs. With a grin.
Remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarfs.
Okay, but what do they call them?
Why would they get rid of the dwarves, though?
Magical creatures.
Let's talk numbers, because this is where it really stings. Opening weekend projections started modestly, $63 to $70 million. Not amazing, but not deadly. Then the internet caught wind of Rachel's interviews. Her political soundbites went viral. And suddenly, the floor dropped out. Projections collapsed to $48 to $58 million. That's not disappointing, that's catastrophic for a $300 million film.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
And it gets worse. To simply break even, Snow White would need to hit $800 million worldwide. That's Avengers-level territory. Star Wars numbers. And here's this film, barely hobbling past $50 million while the internet turns its lead actress into a meme. This isn't just a box office disappointment. This is the kind of mega flop that earns a place in corporate PowerPoint presentations under "Never Do This Again."
Been accused of gaslighting and dubbed a fake feminist, Disney faces challenges of managing Snow White's portrayal and controlling actors' statements to prevent negative effects on ticket sales. Despite Rachel Zegler's playing the lead role, experts suggest that Disney executive might need to reconsider her suitability for promoting the...
And Disney's red carpet strategy? A silent scream of panic. Normally, their premieres are fairy tale extravaganzas, A-listers, press swarms, children in princess gowns. But this time? Quiet. Controlled. Sterile. Minimal press, no fanfare, and they didn't even open ticket pre-sales until 11 days before release. That's not marketing, that's damage control. That's Disney stepping back and thinking, let her take the hit. We're out.
White did just that. You see, the movie opened on 4,200 screens back on March 21st. It did $42 million domestic opening weekend, and then it fell off by a significant 66% the following weekend. Over the next 7 weeks, its theater count would dwindle to just 310 screens.
Just when you think Rachel Zegler might have taken the hint that the public had hit their limit, she pulls a bold career move, Broadway redemption arc. She signs on to play Eva Peron at London's iconic Palladium Theatre, a role once defined by legends like Madonna and Patti LuPone.